So guys, it's official. Michael Chandler is not fighting Conor McGregor next. After 3 years of waiting and throwing away half of his career, he's finally decided that, you know what, I'm not going to keep waiting for this guy. I'm actually going to go out there and get a real fight. And that's exactly what he's done. So if you haven't heard yet, Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler 2 has been booked for UFC 308 in Madison Square Garden, and it's going to be taking place in the co-main event to Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic. And this fight makes sense for a few reasons, but mainly for Chandler. I mean, Chandler, he's been sitting on the couch for a few years now. He wanted to fight Conor McGregor. McGregor's playing games with him, and this fight just hasn't materialized. It's been booked, got canceled, and it just honestly doesn't look like we're ever going to see McGregor step into the octagon again. So I don't blame Chandler for finally moving on. And he definitely got a very worthy opponent to replace McGregor. I mean, in terms of star power, Charles Oliveira isn't on McGregor's level, but I mean, he's probably the next best thing at lightweight. This guy's a massive star. This is a massive fight either way, and these two have fought before. There's a little bit of animosity there. Chandler probably wants to get this one back. If you don't know, these two fought for the undisputed lightweight title, and Charles Oliveira was the one who prevailed. He knocked out Chandler in the second round, but Chandler had his moments in that first round, and he probably sees areas where he could win this fight, and he wants to get this one back. And they get to showcase themselves in Madison Square Garden on the Jon Jones pay-per-view. So honestly, it's just a win-win and checks off all the boxes for Chandler for his return. As for Charles Oliveira, though, I mean, this fight doesn't make a ton of sense to me. We know he's been wanting to fight for a while. He's been asking for a fight for the past couple of months, but I was very confused when I saw that this was the one that he went with. I mean, like I said before, he's already beaten Michael Chandler. Beating him again, what's that really going to do for him at this point? Is this a number one contenders fight? I don't think so. I mean, there's a lot of other worthy guys there, but it doesn't really make sense to me. There aren't a ton of other options for Charles in lightweight specifically. I mean, it was probably a rematch with Chandler, Gaethje, or Poirier. That's probably what's on the deck right now. But if he decided to switch division, maybe go up to 170, there would have been a couple of more options for him. Maybe a Colby Covington, maybe a Kamaru Usman, just some big profile fight where he could actually make a big fight out of it and generate a lot of money. But he hasn't gone with this, and he's gone with the Michael Chandler fight. Honestly, the stakes in this one seem to be whoever wins this fight is going to get a crack at McGregor. Supposedly, if Conor is actually going to end up fighting again. But either way, these two, this is going to be a good fight. Don't get it wrong. I am very, very excited for this matchup. I love watching Charles. I think Chandler's very entertaining as well. And these two are going to clash, and someone's going to get finished in this fight. I almost guarantee you that. We'll see what happens. I'm excited for it. I probably think that Charles is going to end up winning again. He's been a lot more active, has a lot more to his game. He's already beaten Chandler, and I think all those reasons add to why I think Charles will win this fight. I think Charles is very dangerous for any opponent. He's either the second or third best fighter in lightweight, and if I'm Chandler, I probably would have chosen to go with a couple of different options, but this might be what the UFC offered, and he had to accept. As for McGregor, though, this is another setback. I mean, this guy has been rumored to come back for almost 2.5 years now, and we still haven't seen it. He just went out into a bare-knuckle press event sort of thing, and he was saying that he wants to be exempted from his UFC contract so he can go and do other stuff. Probably box in Saudi Arabia, let's be honest. But the UFC's not going to do that. They want Conor to fight. And Conor, he just keeps saying that he's being put on ice, that he doesn't know what's happening, that he was confused by the Chandler announcement, and that he's very out of touch with the UFC. But I highly doubt that. I don't know if the UFC would really want a guy like McGregor to be sitting out for this long. Yes, they don't need Conor McGregor. They are big now. They are bigger, and they could put on fights anywhere with anybody and generate revenue. But you still want your main man. You still want your superstar. They definitely don't want McGregor to be sitting out for much longer. And for him to just keep saying that it's not him, it's the UFC, I'm honestly just not buying it at this point. And honestly, for me, for McGregor right now, it's now or never, because people have lost interest in the Chandler fight and they're losing interest in him. I mean, I would like to see Conor back, but if he doesn't come back, it's not the end of the world. I mean, he's not one of these elite fighters anymore. He's just not. He hasn't fought in 4 years. He hasn't looked good in those performances. He's 1-4 in his last 5. I mean, it's just, it's not looking good for Conor at this point. Yeah, he could come back and he could make money, but I don't know who he beats. Like, either way, if he went in there with Chandler, I don't know if he comes out alive in that one. Realistically, I think he loses to Chandler. I think he loses to anybody in the top 5 of the division, honestly. So it's tough for McGregor right now. Yeah, he should come back, and yeah, we should see a fight with McGregor, but what's really here for him at this point? I question that, and I wonder if there really is anything left for Conor in the UFC. I mean, yeah, this Chandler fight could have happened, but if it doesn't, then what? Are we going to do Poirier McGregor 4? Gaethje said he would never fight Conor, so I don't know. There always seems like there's options, but when you actually break it down and actually look at how realistic some of these fights are, there really isn't a ton. But yeah, I'm not buying all this back and forth bullshit with the UFC. I think the UFC don't want him to leave, so maybe they could have been pushing off his return for a little bit, trying to negotiate a new deal, but that's it. I don't think they're keeping him on ice. I don't think they're not trying to book him, like actively not trying to book him. I think that's all bullshit. I think McGregor is either going through stuff. I mean, I'm not going to get into it, but we all see the videos of Conor online. Doesn't look like he's the most stable in a lot of them. So maybe he's still going through some stuff. Maybe he doesn't want to fight. Who knows? Who knows what it is? We'll never actually know. We can all just speculate. But either way, I want to see him back in there. But if he doesn't come back, it's not the worst thing in the world. Well, there you guys have it. Those are my thoughts on this Chandler Oliveira matchup and Conor McGregor. Let me know if you guys agree with what I was saying, and who do you think wins this fight between Chandler and Oliveira, and do you think McGregor is ever actually going to come back? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I love reading what you have to say. Thank you all for watching this video. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more videos just like this one. I'll see you all in the next one.